Hello, this is Sabrina Hartzell again with my preschool age dramatic play prop box video. I will admit that a lot of most of these things I have not made due to time and just not having access to all the materials that I needed. So let's get started. My theme for this was camping. Um, Thinking that, it's summer, a lot of kids are interested in at least playing outside, whether they are camping or not, or have ever been camping. This could maybe provide them an experience that they might have read about or heard about. So, yeah. My first prop was a s'mores making kit. So the idea would be that we use cardboard cutouts. Some are the regular brown color for graham crackers, and some are maybe colored black for chocolate. And then using cotton balls as well to kind of make these pretend s'mores. Um, I think that this would allow for children to kind of go through mentally the process of making a s'more and what things are required to make one, um, as well as potentially recall if they've ever made one before, um, as well. To go along with the s'more making, my other prop that I would put in is a fire pit made out of toilet paper tubes and orange and red tissue paper glued onto those tubes, and kind of make like a little triangle, and then we could set it down wherever, and they could pretend to have a fire. With this would allow them to have the space to roast their s'mores. It could also be a potential conversation about fire safety, what to do if you are sitting around a fire. Do you go play in the fire? No, that would probably hurt because fire, when it burns you, hurts. And things like that, as well as just kind of adding that element to a camp situation. And going along with the fire idea, we could also add a camp stove to the mix. Instead of having a kitchen, kids love to cook food in their little kitchen. We would essentially break that down into a smaller piece with like a cardboard box. You could draw with a marker the stovetop part and leave like the pots and pans in the dramatic play area as well as food, and they could put it on the fire and pretend to cook over the fire. I think it would allow them to kind of think of ways like, when we're at home, we use the heat from our stove to cook our fire or to cook our food. But when we're out camping, we have to find another heat source. And the way that we do that is by having a fire usually. And I think it's just a new and unique piece for kids to check out. My next part of this prop box would be a homemade child sport, using chairs and blankets and whatever sheets potentially, to allow children to kind of tap into that engineering part of their brain and work together to create forts that they could, camp in. And this would also allow them to work on their teamwork skills, to explain their ideas to each other in ways that make sense to each other, a good communication aspect to it, as well as just testing what works, what doesn't work, how can we fix it, and kind of going through that problem-solving process. Another prop for this box could be toilet paper binoculars. A lot of kids had either experience with or have experience with binoculars, whether they're kid-sized or have seen other people do it before. And I think that using that could kind of bring more just like a new variety of experience to the play space, and allow them to potentially, maybe they want to go on a bear hunt, maybe they want to go look at birds, they want to do something with those pretend binoculars. I don't know. It's just another tool for them to play with. Another aspect to this prop box is fishing poles made out of sticks and twine or rope, and they would be fishing in a pretend fishing lake. I did make this out of some leftover paper. This is kind of like what it would look like, but on a small scale. You would just have little fish. You could print off fish that are more lifelike, or you could just draw them. Tape it to a wall, and the kids could use their fishing poles to pretend to catch fish. During this, we could ask them questions about what we're going to do when we catch the fish. Are there certain bait that fish like more than other baits? Are there different, what the different kinds of fish are and what they're doing? Just having that opportunity there as well, because a lot of people like to fish and like to eat fish while they're out camping. And I think that some of these kids, especially where I work, they are exposed to fishing and hunting culture pretty early on in their life. So I think that it would kind of reach out to different audiences, I guess. But these are my prop box items. So yeah, thank you. Bye.